in here with some zombies from Eldic Moon, and we gotta use that term zombie loosely. I think we've got 7 zombies in the deck and a few ways to make some zombie tokens. Not the zombie tribal you may have envisioned, but if you just try to run like beat down zombies, if you want to play beat down zombies, go back to 2014 and play Deadwalkers, because those zombies ain't here. But if you want to play like kind of some control with the zombie sub-theme, well, this is your deck. I can't really turn away Jace, even though I hate this hand for several reasons, but I mean, double Mindbender is not the bestest, but can't really throw away Jace. Can't do it. So, what I think you can do, what you can play, and what can be very fun, you can play some blue and some black control type shell with your zombos, and you can make a deck out of it. You just put in a couple of the goodies. Our opponent's getting off to the fast start. He's got the River Marshal. Once upon a time, the best 2-drop in the game. The only way you could get a 3/2 in this spot was with Dauntless frickin' River Marshal, but thank God things have changed. So we've got Mortivore in the comments. Welcome, dude. Time to game. Is this stream still working? I don't even see myself in on Twitch. Oh, there I am. Alrighty. I'm on Twitch now. I don't know if anybody knows that. Hopefully we can get like 30 to 50 minutes of uninterrupted, awesome zombie gameplay that I can put in my highlights and send over to YouTube. And my opponent's getting their human on. That's not good. That's going to be pretty intense. We've got kind of I don't know if it's going to be the trump card. That remains to be seen, but we've got a card anyway. A card that can at least try to bail us out of this ugliness. And what's the play? Taking some inventory is a play. And land number 2, we'll just play the tapped one, because you have to remember Thalia's in the format now, so you need to get your tapped lands onto the battlefield, your non-basic, potentially untapped lands onto the battlefield. It explains how and why I'm casting dual lands the way I am, in case anybody out there wondering what the heck I'm doing. See, emerge 7, Jace makes it 5, he wants a Reflector Mage. Well, that's something. Let's activate. That's not a land. So, do I need these lands, or do I need my Mind Bend? It's not like Mind Bender's going to do anything for a long time, so I'm going to chuck one of these. I mean, what's more likely to come up short here, the lands or the Mind Bender? It's actually a pretty close call, but I'm going to chuck that. So he's going to get in for 6, I'll be at 10. He'll have 3 cards going into 4 cards. I'll have 1 removal spell and a Jace to play next turn. Not the worst. Could be better. I tried to keep my removal suite small because of humans matchups, and I haven't actually played against humans with this deck until now. So this is my first go for it. Let's hit him with that Languish. Then next turn we'll have Jason. He'll need to answer that, or else we can flash Languish back. So I think we're okay, but let's see what he has. He's got Blessed Spirits. That's not the most intimidating card I've played against. Big Jace. Big Jace begs the question, is that the right play? Or is this the right play? I mean, Big Jace could go down really hard if he has, what's the card? Angelic Destiny. So it might be better to play Big Jace and bounce his Blessed Spirits and make him play the Spirits again. I mean, all he did last turn was play Blessed Spirits. On the other hand, it's a beating if he has Unsubstantiate. Don't really want to walk into Unsubstantiate. Might rather have 2 spells. But Big Jace can also kind of bait for Little Jace. I don't know. This is actually pretty tough. I'm going to go Big Jace Bounce if he allows it. Because then he just has to figure out how to deal with the Big Jace, get it off the battlefield before the card advantage runs away. And if we want to, we can play Little Jace and emerge the Mindbender rather than flip Little Jace, if we're loving what Big Jace is doing so much. But you have to remember, Little Jace is a flashback Languish, which could be very important if he rebuilds his board. But I like our spot. And yeah, we're still trying to test our zombies that aren't really zombies. It's kind of what we're up to. It's not, I mean, it says zombies, but only because of like Haunted Dead, Crypt Breaker, and some of those effects. Alright, let's pump. Yeah, like that card right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and yeah. Boom. Alright, like that's, there, zombies. You happy? Of course, you zombie tribal purists are gonna say this is nothing like a zombie tribe. And to you, I say, you can go play your Diregraph Colossus, Gravedigger, whatever other you know, Fleshbag Marauder, Nantuko Husk, whatever you want to pile into that deck. You can do that. Go for it. It will break your heart. You will be a very sad, sad panda. Because those cards get smashed on. They're just so bad in the meta, in my opinion. Now that's what I found. I did try playing that deck, as you may or may not recall. But this deck I have had a really good time with, and I've beaten all kinds of decks with it. Oh my. What creatures do I run for Mindbender? I run Prized Amalgam, and I run Haunted Dead, which, you know, they don't come up very often. It's a very narrow situation. But the thing is, and as I did earlier in this game, you can discard your Mindbender if it's just not happening for you, because there's a lot of like discard effects. So I'm not really like that worried about it. I think I did go down to 1 in my iOS build. Alright, so what are we going to do? 7 mana Dark Salvation for 3. It's probably good. Probably really good. Let's see if our opponent has any effects for that. Did not. So we're going to tick Jace down and try to kill Gideon. I don't blame anybody for being skeptical of the deck. I certainly was at a blue-black control-ish type deck with some zombie synergy just kind of tossed in along with a distended Mindbender or two. I still remain cynical despite having played it for about 3 days now. And I gotta tell you, it's not that bad. It's pretty good. I have beaten ramp decks like green colorless ramp. I beat Super Friends, which I expected to be a horrendous matchup. I went into that with like no expectations of success and came out the winner in a very long, very tight game that was very fun to play. Humans, this is my kind of first shot at humans. Yeah. But I mean, it's all come together for me so far, you guys. This deck has done well above expectations. Doesn't mean it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Doesn't mean it's going to redefine the meta or anything. I'm just letting you know what's working for me, because that's what the channel is all about. Okay, so we win. Ba-boom! And we didn't even have Haunted Dead or Prized Amalgam that game, which are kind of they're the zombie side of the deck. When those cards come together, it plays completely different. Maybe play Assault Reanimator deck next. Maybe. I'm actually working on Black-Green Delirium on the side. This deck, I'm pretty sure I've got my 60 cards, or I'm within a card or two of my 60 cards. So I'm just trying to get, if I can get 30 to 50 minutes of uninterrupted, stream didn't crash, stream didn't lag out, didn't have to restart duels. If I can get like 30 to 60 minutes of that to upload to YouTube, I'll be off the Zombo deck and probably onto the green-black Delirium unless something else really catches my fancy pants. So that's what we're up to. Is it Hakeem? Is Hakeem in the house today, or is it an imposter? The Panther with the lightning. Let's see what happens. Nighthawk, Neon City catching up on the Nighthawk archives. Some things are eternal. Like Grimlock's Swiftwing is completely broken. How do you get 3 abilities on a 2-drop? Okay, it's a Hakeem imposter, but maybe he's Hakeem net decking, so you gotta go in. Well, you know, he's not playing 60, so maybe he thinks he improved on a Hakeem deck. This is tight, especially on the play. So yeah, we're grooving. It's good. Hopefully we'll get to show you the power of the Wharf Infiltrator, because that card is a bit better than I think anybody gives credit for. Uh-oh. Well, it's horrible against that card, which isn't exactly what I expect of the meta, but just goes to show you never can tell what people are going to play. That's fine. Yep. Because next turn we have Oath of Jace, drop you, and then we can reanimate, or probably drop you, and then we can reanimate if we want to. And then hopefully the Infiltrator will start making us some 3/2s. Let's see if he attacks. I mean, you're red, aren't you supposed to attack? I mean, if we hold him back, I guess that's something. No, he's going to turn it sideways. Okay, well, if Worf gets in, I think we'll make a 3/2, because I think that's better than anything we would do otherwise with the turn. We don't have Prized Amalgam, where Haunted Dead would just go nuts. But here we go. Oh, he's going to take it? I love it. All to get in that 1-point hit. I love it. It's awesome. This is fantastic. I wonder what he was thinking on that play. Really, I do. Alright, discard you, pay 2, get a 3/2. And should I Wild or Boneyard? I guess, I mean, the odds of him going White Man Athalia is pretty low, but that does make me want to Wilds first. So, you never know these days. You never know what people are going to do to you in duels. You can try to predict it, but my god, they could do anything. Like, who saw that coming? Who saw that coming? Who would have called Swamp Indulgent Aristocrat? That's the name of it, right? Indulgent Aristocrat. Who would have called that we were up against a vampire deck on turn 3? Nobody. Nobody. You can't. You just don't know. And here comes that thing, which we will definitely let through. Not gonna lose our 3/2 over this. Now let's see if he sacrifices to take out the Infiltrator like I think he should. And he should do it right now. Or right now. Or he could do it now. He doesn't do it. Yeah, so he's gonna pay for that. I'm gonna make him pay for that. Alright, get in there, 3/2. We'll mess with timing and see, we'll try to make the most out of it. Because what we can do at instant speed in response to anything that would affect our Infiltrator... Okay, he's gonna Brute Strength his... Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that was a free card anyway. My Eldrazi. He used 2 cards to get rid of my free card. I hope y'all see why that's bad. He's tapped out, so I think we'll just do it now to avoid any instant speed removal. Discard you, and you. Yep. And pay. We get another 3/2. We get a Haunted Dead. We get a Spirit. We groovin'. What you got over there? I got 7 power. 6 toughness on my board. You've got a Masquerade with no vampires. I'm feeling good. Oh, yep, here it comes. Arsonist into Bone Splinters. He assembled the combo where, never mind. Everything just went straight to hell because he, you know, paid. There's 2 creatures basically taking out 1.5 cards from us. So, still crushing it. Alright. What we got? There's another dead down there, but I don't think I want it back right now. Or do I? Like, he's a vampire deck, so is card advantage even important? I'm not convinced. I kind of think it might be more important just to... well, we can do both. We can Oath and then buy it back. So, let's start off with the Oath. Let's take the Oath. I vow I will keep watch or something as Jace the Nerd can. As only Jace the Nerd can. It's enough land. And do I want to discard these? Not really. In fact, I think I'll just eschew the beatdown and go for the card advantage. Because we're the control. Even though we have, you know, the opportunity to fully turn the corner, we are the deck that has the more controlling elements. So now we can just draw a bunch of cards and win that way. Take that, Dancy, Lanabar, Hakim Imposter, Lightning Panther. And he's got that. Okay. Sugary Waffle says, yo, hope you don't mind me lurking. Lurk away, homies. Lurk away. Come on in. It's a Merc lurking paradise. So I can't block with that. Not willing to block with my Crypt Breakers. So we'll take that. He'll pump that guy, and he'll get some damage in, but we've got Grasp of Darkness, so I'm not even caring very much. And his kind of starter vampire deck is now going to have to keep up with us drawing several cards a turn. And more cards a turn. Hakim not making videos feels bad, man. It's his choice, right? I mean, he'll make videos if he wants to make videos. In all our worlds, it's a choice. Like, I've taken time off. You won't hear me say anything bad about people who choose to take some time off. And I know this game, like Hakim, like, he hates it when this game does stupid stuff. And this game has been doing stupid stuff for a couple expansions now. I can't be mad at him. All right, send in that 3/2. Some of us, you know, we grin and bear it and deal, and some people that's just asking too much. And like I said, not gonna be mad about it. So let's see what he wants to do. He's gonna play that guy, sure. He's gonna play that guy. All right. I mean, he keeps drawing creatures, so that at least makes us work for our victory. Here comes that. We'll just say no to drugs. And get our card draw on. And keep trying to pull ahead. Sanitarium. Alright. So we're gonna put the Oath of Oath of Jace on the stack. And we're gonna flip our Jace. Do we want to draw before then? No, because we got 2 lands. We can discard. We can pick something and discard. No big deal. Hit me. That's a hit. That counts as a hit. And so then Jace comes in. Oath of Jace triggers. Scry. He's got 1 card in his hand. How many lands do I have? 7. I can pitch the Haunting Dead. But I don't know if this is where I want this card. This is not the situation for this card. It's still a 5/5 body, but it's an overpriced one, and we have Kalitas to play instead. Just don't think that's the card right now. Not in the moment. I mean, you guys haven't seen it shine yet. I promise you, it has its moments. I guarantee you that there are moments that card is amazing. Take inventory, a grasp. Okay. Thinky, thinky. Thinky, thinky. We don't want to kill his little dork, but we can if we play Kalitas. I wonder if he knows that, because Kalitas will cause his dork to get exiled instead of drawn. Do I save these because I can get back my Haunted Dead? I think that's better, right? It's better to have the bodies than more land at this point. Okay. So in goes the 3/2. Yeah, like that. Yeah, you definitely need Mindbend. The places you need Mindbender in this deck is against Control, as Nighthawk just said, and you need it against Super Friends, Planeswalker type things to get the Planeswalkers out of their hand before they get to cast them, or get rid of the sweepers before they get to use those. So you see there, the Arsonist got exiled because of the Kalitas ability, so he didn't get to do 1 damage to anything, and I got a zombie. Winning! Alright, your turn. Do your worst. Just turning off those Goblin Arsonists, one of the many features of Kalitas. Uh-oh, he's going up top. He's going up top. Let's see what he does here. Attack Jace. Attack me. Got a lot of racing to do if you're going to attack me. And he's going to get +1/+1 counter. So I guess that's... Let's start here. I mean, it's probably reason enough to put a spirit in front of it with Haunted Dead. Alright. Oh, that'll take care of the problem. So, do I want to take the damage? I'm just going to gain the life back with Kalitas. So I can just take the damage, keep the spirit. Oh, yeah. I don't care. Dark Salvation's going to fix the problem. Congratulations on your zombie. Or not zombie, vampire. You got a big old vampire there. Yes, it's very, very nice vampire you have. Okay. Yeah, I like that card. Whenever I discard a card, and it happens to be a creature, I get a 3/2. You've already seen that at work to some extent. But now we can go Jace up, Dark Salvation, next turn Jace down, Dark Salvation. Pretty nasty stuff. Alright, turn them sideways. Go team. I've also played against vampires at least 4 times with my zombie deck, and I have not lost to vampires yet. I have not lost to the tribe that sucks the blood with this vampire deck. They just have a really hard time against that much removal. Now this isn't... I shouldn't get like hyped about this because this is not an optimal vampire list. You can tell he's kind of working on his collection or he's working on his deck building, one of the two. But still, it says something, like the vamps haven't been able to come through. Doesn't say much, says something. Just not all that much. Bottom, yeah. Alright, say goodnight. And good night, sweet prince. The vampires cometh for your soul. Boom! Did it. Okay, we've got 2 games in. Let's tempt fate. Can we get a third? Can we get one more for this zombie to make a nice gameplay video? Hopefully it'll be a adequate, somebody up to the challenge. Somebody who wants to come after the 40 rank Zombo deck. Zombo Control. Zombeezy by CGBeezy. I just joined, okay, in all caps. In all caps I get this message. Jesus, I just joined the stream and a poor dude blankety blank dies. Yeah, that's what we do here. It's like noob smashing. It's kind of how we roll. Uh-oh. This might be the same dude. Or it might be the real Hakeem. Or it might be somebody else different entirely. Ever since Hakeem took on this avatar, I swear it's the most popular avatar besides Homeless Jace. Or the dude from Assassin's Creed, if that's your flavor. What deck was that? Well, right now I'm playing zombies. My opponent played vampires. And it is Dancy. Alright. Well, I was hoping to get a different opponent, but, you know, maybe he'll just have a hot start, and this will get interesting. Maybe I should keep a bad hand just to see what happens. No, can't do it. This is much better. But, yeah, you take what you get. I mean, if they're going to pair me against 1 ranks and the same 1 rank multiple times, you know, that's these guys probably want to quit Magic and uninstall the game and never come back, and it's Wizards' fault. It's not mine. It's my job to do the smashing. It's my job to do the smashing. Well, let's see. Hey, don't write him off yet. Stuff could happen. Yeah, man, to 0. To 0, I tell you. And boom. And remember, we want our non-basics in case of Thalia. I guess we don't need that, though, because we know his deck, so I don't have to actually think about that in this case. Pretty sure he's not going to play a Plains and a Thalia out of his deck. So yeah, this may not be the greatest showcase for the deck, but it's the place I can record videos and upload them. So this is what you YouTube and the people who watch my Twitch archives, this is unfortunately the most I can give you. Hey, there he is. He's putting up a fight. Dead weight in my wharf. There you go. That's how you do it. Put a counter on your Cold Blade. Play your Shadows of the Past after the dead weight, because you didn't want that scry trigger. You definitely didn't need that scry trigger, I guess. And Nighthawk says he sideboarded against you. It's quite possible. Of course, if he's sideboarding in a bunch of deadweights, I think I'll be okay. So I think land, hold up, grasp next turn, 4 mana, Haunted Dead, or Kalitas. Yep. That's the plan, that's the plan. Them sideboarded deadweights come in. I think that deadweight is you can main deck that card right now, in my opinion, because of all the aggro human-y type strats that I keep running into. So there he goes. He's got his 4 mana 4/4 right now. He's looking like he's shining. He's in good position. So I think I want to kill that 4/4, play my Kalitas. So I'll take this punch. And pause. Get that out of my yard. Thank you. And you can scry. Having the time of your life. You can scry. You can play lands. Whatever. Alright, let's see what he's got for pretty much the Vampire Lord. I guess you could call Olivia the Vampire Lord as well, but I feel like this is your boy. This card's just, he's an A++, especially in duels where killing him isn't quite as easy, and Reflector Mages are limited to only 3 copies, not 4. Ah, there's that Consecrated combo. Is he going for it? He's thinking about it. You gonna do it? You gonna do it? Nope. Nope. Hold up. Let's get that Arsonist on the battlefield. You never know when you might need to exile your Arsonist to deal 1 damage. Can anybody think of why he would play Arsonist there? Anybody? Any ideas? So we'll send this in. If he goes block, block, and doesn't get his Arsonist trigger, maybe he's still... Is it really possible that he or she, whoever this is, doesn't remember that they're not going to get that Arsonist trigger and their plan is to double block my Kalitas? What do you guys think? I mean, that just seems so mean, so cold, but we're gonna put him to the test. We're gonna put him to the test. Nope. Hey, remember that part. That's good. That's good. You should remember that part. Now, do I want to murder something? I think I do, but it can wait till his turn, because I say he attacks me with both, I can murder his Arsonist. I can murder his Cold Blade, block his Arsonist with the zombie it makes. Yeah, why don't we put Perilous Mirror back in the format? I'm sure 1 Kalitas is good enough to invalidate 4 Perilous Mirrors. Them's jokes. Them's that sarcasm face you guys throw at me. Here's that Consecrated by Blood. Yep, you did it. Here's the attacks, maybe? Yep. Just going for it. Oh! Nope. Okay. Darn it. And here I thought I was going to get a freebie. Boom. Give me that Zombo. Among other tricks, you can't regenerate using Consecrated by Blood's ability, even if he had the 2 creatures with Kalitas out there, because regeneration is a replacement effect for dying, and Kalitas is a replacement effect for dying. Dun 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 dun, the more you know. So, do we want a Dark Salvation on that thing, and then we get in for 5? We're also, by the way, taking away his Scry triggers. Like, Kalitas shut down the whole game. Just turned his whole deck off. Yeah. Alright, I mean, if I draw a card and I do draw a land, I have the Dark Salvation play, but it's not that important to hit the land drop, so we'll just make this play. More zombies, thank you. And who said this wasn't a zombie deck? Look at all these. Look at all these guys. But yeah, it's brutality. It's brutality that's happening here. Turned off his Shadows of the Past. Grasp of Darkness, his Tormentor. He had that dead weight moment that took me off my Wharf Infiltrator. That was probably a feel-good, but it went away quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't kill him. So, yep, I'll just bring him low. Bring him low, bring him low. And not worry about committing to the board. I mean, what could happen? Chandra could happen. So, as long as there's something to play around and you're going to win the game most likely, may as well play around it. Yeah! Another enchantment that isn't going to do much. So, dude's got to work on his deck building. But in the meantime, hopefully you're enjoying seeing the zombies in action. We'll go back and touch off the list right after this game, and then I'll have a video I can put up. Oh, it's a wonderful thing when your Twitch stream doesn't crash like every game. It's just beautiful, beautiful. And Para in the house, hello. Nice to see you. Another one of those decent players on my friends list who makes appearances on the stream sometimes, does some playtesting. So, zombies, blue-black, basically blue-black control with some zombie flavor. No Diregraph Colossus, no Fleshbag Marauder. Nothing like that to get crazy about. But we got some Distended Mind-Bending tactics for those, like, kind of bigger mid-range decks. And we've got Rise from the Tides, which is also a bit of a go over the top. We got a whole bunch of removal, Languishes, Muddas, Imprison in the Moon, Grasp, Dark Salvation. So we keep things good and dead. And yeah, right now I wouldn't change a thing. The only debate of any kind for me is going down to 1 Mindbender, because when you draw 2 in a hand with no other creatures, it's a very feel bad type experience. But even then, like I said before, you can discard them, you can toss them to your Oath of Jace, you can toss them to your Haunted Dead if you find it, you can toss it to your Sanctums, and just try to make something better out of it. Or, hell, sometimes you get in these staring matches where I'm not doing nothing, or you doing nothing, I'm not doing nothing. Oh yeah, you can toss them to your Crypt Breakers, your Jaces, your Wharf Infiltrators. But you get in these staring matches with another control deck, and sometimes you get to 8 mana, and you just, like, fist pump, you throw this down, you take their Declaration in Stone and their Planar Outburst, and you say, what? What now? What you gonna do about that? How effective the Drownyard Temples is really up for debate. There's only a few times I flash them back, but there is this weird tension in the deck once you have 5 lands in play. Do you want to play any more lands? Because every land you play takes away from a possible Sanctum activation, Oath of Jace discard, Haunted Dead discard. And at least with these in a longer game, you can call them back out of the graveyard and build your mana, but still get your discard effects. So I think they stay for now. Anyway, that's my Zombo deck, and we're gonna call that a wrap on the zombies, and I'm gonna put up an article about it in the near future, so stay tuned to the blog. There's a link to that below. And let's see, what time is it? Probably go time for CGB. Well, we're just going to call that a wrap on zombies, so thanks. Alright, so that was my zombie wrap where I cut the video. What do you think about Advanced Stitched Wing, says Nighthawk. I don't think it's good. I think that if it comes into play tapped, if I remember. I'll have to take a look at that really quick. Hold on. Let's get into Deck Builder. Build something fresh for next time. I want to get my, let's see. I want to get my Delirium all queued up. Nighthawk says Delirium's bad. I agree that Delirium is generally... Well, he didn't say it's bad. He said he gave up on it, which usually means, in someone's opinion, it's bad. Advanced Stitchwing, what are you? I think you're something like that. There you go. 5 mana, 3/4 flying. Discard 2 cards. Return the Stitchwing from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped, and it's a zombie horror. So this card, first of all, like, if it came back untapped, this card would be great, and it would go in the deck, no question whatsoever. It would be a really good finisher in general. The comes into the battlefield tapped. It does matter. It matters a lot. It's kind of amazing to me how many times playing the zombie deck that I'm bringing back Haunted Dead to create the 1/1 token that enters the battlefield untapped to chump block to save my Jace or my Ob for one more turn so I can get the ultimate or get another turn cycle of card advantage. That like really matters, and at least at this point in the meta, people don't seem to remember it. I see people play into lines over and over again where the plan is clearly that they're going to attack down my Planeswalker or attack me for lethal, and they forget that I can make a 1/1 token at instant speed that can block, and I do this like a lot, it seems, with the deck. So if this came in untapped, I think it would be awesome. As it sits, it's not disgustingly terrible. 3 mana means if you're paying 3 mana, it's very unlikely you'll get to use much of a madness thing with it, but I don't really do a lot with the madness anyway. It's possible this could or should be a one-of. The feel bad, and like the real feel bad, is paying 5 mana for the 3/4 flyer, right? That's not very good. Paying 4 mana for a 2/2 Haunted Dead with a 1/1 spirit in the air, both untapped, isn't the worst. Like, that feels okay, but at 5 mana, this is just a really ick play. Like, ick. Okay. So, what have I been doing with Delirium? I want to set up my Delirium deck for next time, because I think that's the next thing I'm going to work on. So let me go see if I can find it. Just like zombies is not... Just like I didn't find zombies to be very good and like, I didn't want to dedicate... The dedicated tribal zombie deck I didn't find to be very good, right? So in kind of the same spirit, I did not find dedicated Delirium to be very good. I found it to be very, very lacking in my world. So what I wanted to do instead of playing cards that felt really like waste of mana, waste of turn, like Grapple with the Past, and cards like, what's the other one? What's the one people like to do? The Reveal the Top 5, Pick 2, Gather the Pack. Instead of doing that, I want to play cards that give me, that do something to the board and give me better options, but also like move towards Delirium. So if you play like the right mix of kind of enchantments and instants and sorceries, then Delirium seems to come about pretty simply, and that's what I'm going for in this deck. So, let's see, I've got one Kindly Stranger as one of... Also, there's only a few Delirium cards in my deck. Very much also my style to not take the strategy too far. So there's only a couple of real, actual Delirium cards in my deck as my payoffs. And the rest of the deck is just kind of a black-green control thing that I get going So that's another piece of it, is I'm not overboard on doing delirium things. And I think that's important. I think that matters. Just a few big payoff cards, and the rest are spells that are kind of a different mix of spells so that you get to delirium the somewhat natural way without putting, in my opinion, some real garbage in your deck. So, let's see, Abi Ab. I also really, and I still am considering putting Haunted Dead in this deck. I think it may well work. I think it's actually a pretty good card just in general. I mean, but we don't have a lot of ways to self-mill ourselves or anything like that. The other version of the Delirium deck really did use Haunted Dead, because it was a great way to make Delirium, discarding the whatever card type you need. And you're in, and you're in. But really, this just turns into like a green-black control deck, the likes of which we haven't seen since Origins, but with better tools, I think. And I'm not sure if I have it right. I'll put that out there. The Planeswalker matchup, I've won the only game where I played the Planeswalker matchup, but it didn't. I don't know if that feels like a good matchup. But this card, this right here, this card is amazing. Like, this card is nuts, especially when you recur it. You get it back with Green Warden and Pulsa Marasa, and you just cast it a few more times, or with Liliana. Oh my goodness. It's just so good. It's like a great reason to get Yo Delirium at all, and that's kind of where what the deck is doing all the Delirium work for. And again, I'm playing certain cards so that the Delirium doesn't feel like work. So that just kind of comes about from playing my cards. I think the only thing that you could say I'm making a concession with here is this card, Alchemist Vial, which is my way of getting an artifact. You can sacrifice it as long as there's any creature on the battlefield to get Delirium at will, and when you play it, you draw a card. It's kind of in the spot that an Elvish Visionary would be, but it seems to make Delirium happen consistently. And you could call it a concession, I suppose, but I don't find it to be a big loss. Like, our curve has so many 3-drops and so few 2-drops that just throwing that down on turn 2 never seems to really lose me much. And it also helps to beat up a Planeswalker. So let's get our land right. And I'm in the Whispers camp sometimes, Nighthawk. I'm in the Whispers camp where you really just don't mind raw dogging it on turn 2. I don't think this deck wants that. It just doesn't feel right. It might be that I need some kind of a hand disruption thing, because if my opponent just is holding trump cards on me, the deck is going to be pretty lame. And it might be that I don't need this. This is kind of a card where I wanted to hedge my life gain bets. The only real life gain we have otherwise is Kalitas. But there's probably an argument for Whispers. There probably is. And maybe that's something I bet we gotta try in the process of working on this deck. So, yeah. I don't hate it. I don't think it's a bad card. I think you just don't put it in any black deck. Obviously, it has to be something with a reasonable chance at Delirium, and it has to be something where you don't have a lot to do on turn 2. So kind of my same argument for the Alchemist Vial means it should fit. If it's going to fit somewhere, it should fit here. If I'm going to pull something out, it should probably be Sorcery, but I don't know if I can do that. How many instants do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 instants, so I can't really take away from Pulse, which is my first instinct. Delirium cards. Mindrak Demon. Delirium card. Graft Widow. Delirium card. Kindly Stranger. There you go. That's my Delirium cards. That's my Delirium deck. Since these don't go to the graveyard much, there could be a case for cutting these, but I've really liked them. I really, really have. But it's quite possible this should just be murder, because it's not like it gets to the graveyard easily. We don't have a lot of ways to discard our own stuff. We only have 3 Planeswalkers to combo with the Oath. So let's try this. 1, 2... How many instants is that? 5 instants? I'd like to keep it near 6, but I guess it's not necessary. Instants are pretty... Like, it's a specific type that's easy to get into the graveyard. And this is going to bring our sorcery count way up. I could cut a Read the Bones, but that's kind of the gas. You really do want your Read the Bones to hit. Alrighty, so we'll give that a go and see where it leads us. Because that, I do like I do, when I talk about it now, it does feel like this is the right deck for it, where we could actually get Delirium and we don't mind giving up our turn 2 to use it. The kind of issue is, are we going to get into a game where we're like Whispers into Read the Bones, where we've done nothing until turn 4? If we have Languish, that's okay, but if we don't, or if we're on the draw, that could be really bad. Some would say this isn't the right deck for Nissa, but it's the Planeswalker type that I'm really after. So there's a lot of times where I play her and just minus her and put some tokens on like a Sylvan Advocate or something. The opponent attacks her, kills her, which I'm like, there you go. And then the next turn, Delirium, and down comes a Graft Widow or a Mindrak Demon, and life is beautiful. So yeah, let's... I'm not going to play any games. I have to go. I have to get out the door, so I'm just setting myself up for the future. So if anybody wants to, if you were hoping for more games, sorry to disappoint, but I will come back. I will play more games with this deck in the near future, if it continues to tickle my fancy. Probably spelled it wrong, don't care. I know what it means. I know what's going on. So yeah, let's see. Time check. Yep, time for CGB to run along and play. Thank you guys for coming out. Hopefully we'll give you some interesting games with this black-green control deck with a little Delirium splash going on in the near future. Have a good one.